Forensic Statement Analysis, FSA, is a process by which a person's own written or spoken words are scientifically analyzed to determine truth and deception. Given the opportunity, a person's words will betray them, in spite of their prior training, education, and best efforts to avoid detection. This is much like processing a crime scene.
It happens. Our body remembers, our brain and our bodies remember, and it's very easy for us to recount what happens. And when we have to manufacture that creates stress, and it creates this hesitation, and he doesn't know what to say. He can't commit to it, and it's in his language here. I love this answer. He says, "Well, yeah, I went in house, out of the house." He can't even be specific with it. I went in-house, out of the house. And if you listen, play it back again, Chris, and you'll see how weird this sounds.
In the house, out of the house. I mean, we was turning everything, looking everywhere. We didn't know what to do, and the police started pulling up, and this and that. Yeah.
And where did you?
He never says he was actually looking for her. This is all he wants you to interpret that he was, but there's nothing specific here. This is all like, oh, what did he do? Turn over a piece of paper? I don't know. I mean, there's nothing concrete here.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm done. Pretty much, it just reeks of that he did anything but what he wants you to believe here. Okay, here, I just want to point out something that's significant, and it goes unnoticed by most because it seems to be a minor thing, but this is really knowledge. And so you asked him specifically when you got to the house, and did you go into the house at any time? He says, well, and you have a lot of hesitation. And yeah, I went in-house, out of the house, which we're wondering, what kind of language is that? And look what he did. He then buried himself in the crowd, we call it. He used we. And it doesn't even make sense, Chris. We was turning everything, looking everywhere. We didn't know what to do. The cops started pulling up and this and that, and those things that don't want to say. He had to associate himself with someone else, which I'm assuming is Candace, whoever it was. He had to associate himself, and that's very typical of people with guilty knowledge. They don't like to be alone. They like, hey, I want to hide in the crowd. I want to be associated with someone else. I think I said last time on your show, little Johnny gets in trouble for pulling hair or throwing spit wads. Hey, but Mom, everyone was doing it. I'm going to bury myself, associate with everyone else. It's more comfortable that way. There's less stress if everyone was doing it or she was doing it. And so that's what he's doing here.
And I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said, no, they should be outside playing with chalk. I said, well, I didn't see them, so I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open, and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street in both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see me. So then I came home and I told my wife we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going.